Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Metal Magdalene with Jet radio show right here on Metal Messiah Radio. Tonight we have with us back on the show Fernanda Lira of the Brazilian thrash band Nervosa. Welcome back to the show, Fernanda.
Always a pleasure, Jet. Really, always a pleasure. I love you. I love everyone who's listening. So thanks again for the opportunity. It's going to be a nice chat.
So, Fernanda, you guys been touring so extensively. So tell us, how did all that go? I mean, did everything go okay? I mean, the last time we talked, you had like some thefts from homeless people. Nothing like that this time around?
Well, it all went well. Like, thankfully, it was really, really nice. Like, I think since the last time we talked, we did those tours with Destruction, which were amazing. And this year we also toured with Venom Inc. and Suffocation. Suffocation are friends, and Venom Inc., like, Tony loves us. We love Tony. So it was literally like touring with friends. It was a lot of fun. And besides that, we've been doing, like the typical summer tour there in Europe. Lots of Latin America, like Mexico. We played this huge festival in Mexico called Hell in Heaven with so many cool bands at the same time. We played at the same time Saxon was playing, which sucked. But we were able to watch like Scorpions, Deep Purple, Ozzy, and Tankard, and like most of our favorite bands, Testaments, they were playing there. It was pretty nice. But yeah, we've played a couple of places we hadn't before since we last talked, like some spots there in Central America, and they are amazing. The only thing that's missing, it's us coming back to the US. It's amazing how like we've been trying, but it just doesn't work. But it will eventually. Now we have a new booking agency around there, Satellite Touring, and we'll definitely go back there next year. I mean, it doesn't matter if we're going with a bigger band, because that's the initial plan, or if we're doing like another smaller headlining tour, but we just need to be back there again. We love you guys and we love playing the US, and we really, really, really honestly miss it.
And we'd love to have you back here, because it's been a while now and you have so many fans, even more so than the first time around, because you're getting so much exposure and people are getting to, be introduced to you more and more. So we're going to be looking forward to that, Fernanda.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And now we really found, we have a good lineup. We're pretty well rehearsed and everything. We got a nicer structure. It's going to be pretty cool.
And now, since we last talked, you guys also have a new drummer now. So tell us a little bit about her and getting her into the band.
Yeah, her name is Luana, and I freaking love her. I love that drummer. She's like on the interviews and to my friends that she's definitely the best thing that happened to the band on the last times. Because really, we had a tough time after our ex-drummer left. Because, I mean, she was not feeling comfortable in the band anymore, and the vibe was not so cool. And I always respect that. But the way it happened, it kind of hurt, like, because she left us in the middle of the tour. When she left, we had already 60 gigs booked, including a tour with Destruction, so it was pretty hard. And then came Samantha, my angel. I love her so much. I love her to bits. I love her. And she helped us so much. She did that tour on the East Coast with us. She literally saved our asses, really. If it wasn't for her, I don't know what would have happened. So forever thankful. But, like, she's from Canada, and it just couldn't happen at that time, like we lived too far from each other. And then, like, after that tour with Destruction, we came home, and then we started auditioning girls to join the band. But we pretty much had in mind that we didn't want like only a girl who could play the songs, because If you know how to play and like thrash is challenging in some way, you can always learn that. So we were like, we're okay with someone who can play the songs and like and evolve along with us. But we were really focusing on someone who was like easygoing. Above like the drumming abilities, it would have to be someone who we could get along well with, like someone who had the same objectives that we had, the same ideals that we have, and someone who would love being on the road, and someone who would, like be on the same vibe, but definitely someone who would be like calmer and a little bit more peaceful and everything, because like it's a family, and we need balance. We need to get along well. Otherwise, it's a nightmare being on a road with someone you don't really get along with well. So yeah, what we did, like we were definitely looking for someone who could play, but also someone who was nice, basically. And then there was Luana. She was from a death metal band, so she could definitely play our songs. Like she's awesome. She can really play, and she likes to learn. And she, like for you to have an idea, the day we called her to audition, she was studying already. She was still studying in university, and she called there at her university and said, like, you know what, I'm quitting. Because she knew she would be in the band, and that's exactly what she was waiting for during all her life. She's been waiting for it. She's been waiting for that chance. She likes the music. And then we felt she was 100% into it. But above all, she's an angel. I really like her. She's really easygoing. We laugh together. She's comprehensive. I mean, like she's perfect for what we need now. Like I'm really thankful we got to cross paths because she's really, really cool. She's exactly what we needed.
And now today we're here to talk about your new album, Downfall of Mankind, coming out June 1st on Napalm Records. So Fernanda, why did you guys go with this particular title for this album, Downfall of Mankind?
Cause like usually on our songs, we talk about bad aspects of the human being and the society in a general way. We talk about all things that we watch every day, we listen every day, and we see and live every day, mainly when you live in South America. And then there's a lot of bad shit going on, and then that's what we write about. And I think on the last years, the world got, I don't know, crazier, like particularly crazier. It's getting weirder. I'm a bit afraid, like I'm really afraid, because there's of course in the history of mankind there's always been like lots of bad shit going on, even more terrible than there is nowadays. But you know what? I thought we could at least learn from history and not repeat the same mistakes. But it seems we're going the dark path again. And we have the knowledge, we have access to information, but still we're doing some bad shit again. We're going to end up repeating some bad shit again. And that's why we chose a darker title this time, because the lyrical content is a little bit darker. I mean, like, not darker, but it's even more serious than it was before. And it talks about exactly these bad things that mankind has been doing. And if we don't, the way things are happening and going, it's definitely going to be our downfall. I'm not being pessimistic. I'm far from being pessimistic. I'm very optimistic. I love life. I love being positive. I love everything. I see joy and beauty in everything. But I think if we keep on doing and going the way we're doing and going, it's going to be terrible. We're going to ruin everything we built from the past. you know. So that's the basic meaning of the title. And then we decided to use that as the cover artwork that's cool with like that looks a little bit like a wizard or something like that, because sometimes it feels like we're under like evil command, you know, like, because I think like it's not it seems like humanity is mesmerized, you know, like for some evil force, and then that's what we wanted to show in the artwork, as if mankind was like driven by this evil force, but we all know this evil force is ourselves, like it's our brains, and it's the way we're getting intolerant and everything. So basically it's this.
So Fernanda, tell us a little bit about the artist then, and his artwork on the album.
It's a Brazilian guy. We felt like it was time. Like, we have so many amazing artists here in Brazil. Some of them are getting to, like Marcelo Vasco, that, you know, like painted for Slayer and bands like that. But still, we got so many unknown Brazilian artists. So we felt like, okay, let's give, you know, like metalheads from all around a chance to get to know these Brazilian artists. They are so many and so good. So we decided to do with him, because this guy does exactly this kind of drawing that we wanted, which is more like lots of lines, and actually not painting and everything, like lines, and more connected to black and white. You can see that we barely colored the artwork. I wanted it to be black and white, to be honest. But we're three, and we decided to color it a little bit. But he masters this kind of drawing with like barely colors or black and white, and I think he pretty much got the idea of what we wanted. We like the way he draws, and I hope his name gets out there and people get more and more interested in working with him. We like to support, you know, like Brazilian artists in a general way, not only bands, but, you know, like guys who can draw and everything, because it's so hard to do anything here in Brazil. So we try and support as much as we can.
And now your first single from the album came in the form of a lyrical video for Never Forget, Never Repeat. So why did you choose this to be the first release, and what is this song about, Fernanda?
We chose this one because it's like a punch in the face. It starts with a blast beat and super fast, and me screaming on the first 2 seconds of the song. You already have a lot of screaming and blast beats. We wanted it to be a shock, so people can know and realize, well, if this is the first song, I can only imagine like how aggressive the album is going to be, because that's how the album is going to sound like. It's more aggressive, it's grimmer, it's rawer. So we thought that maybe the song would represent this aggressiveness we're bringing on this new album. And I think we're pretty much able to you know, like we managed passing along this message, because people were like, what the fuck? And that's what we want, you know, like we have a new drummer, new lineup. We toured a lot, which makes us evolve a lot as musicians. So we just wanted to show like, okay, it's gonna be different. This is what it's gonna be like. And as for the lyrical content, it talks about, it's very, I wouldn't say political, but at the same time, it kind of is. It talks about, I was talking to you about repeating mistakes from the past, and this song is about, it's exactly about like reminding people about all the shit we've been through. Mankind has been through, and that we need to always remember that, not only because of all the lives that were lost a long time due to our mistakes we committed, but also to make people not only remember, like everything that happened, but in order not to repeat that. Like we don't want segregation anymore. We don't want Holocaust anymore. We don't want any more civil wars. We don't want any slavery anymore. But I don't know. It's still there. Mm-hmm. Some of them are still happening. Like we don't think slavery happens, but it does. And as the more technology grows faster, the more slaves we have. Like modern time slaves. So the song is for us to think about this, to think and respect everyone who died and everything that happened so far, and that we don't want that to repeat. We don't want any more people dying, like in the way they did, and we don't want society to move backwards, So it's just a reminder, like, this happened. We don't want to have this happening again, right? So let's just change. It's something like that.
And now also you released an official video for your song Kill the Silence. So what's the concept of the video, Fernanda, and what was it like making that video?
It was pretty nice because it was our first one using fire. We were so excited about it. We were like, oh my God, it's going to be awesome. Because, like at least me, I was used to watching like many bands using fire on their videos, like Toxic Holocaust on Nuke the Cross, and I always thought it was so badass. And then Prika actually came up with that idea, and I just loved it. Not only because visually it works well, but also because it has a meaning. Like there's some symbology behind it that I will explain now. But the song, firstly, we chose that song because it also summarizes every aspect, musical aspect that there's out there in the album. Like you got blast beats, you got the thrash metal beats, like you got catchy choruses, you got like riffs and everything. So it pretty much summarizes everything that people are gonna hear in the album. But the lyrics are pretty. They talk about a very heavy subject, but we approached the subject in a different way. It talks about abuse, different kinds of abuse, like it can be physical or psychological or any kind of abuse, and because it's a very hard subject to talk about, because like people who were also abused are gonna listen to the music, so we didn't want anyone to have a bad experience out of the lyrics. So we thought of Brika actually created the lyrics, and she thought of like approaching this abuse subject in a more empowering way. Like, what, it's been tough, we know, but you can kill the silence. It was not your fault. Move on. So we try to make a positive message out of something bad, and I think this is important. It's important for people to know that they are not alone, and that it's important for them to break this dome. That's why we use these exact words in the lyrics, because we just wanted to tell people, like, we know it's been bad, but you're not alone, and you can overcome it. And that's why exactly I loved the idea of using fire in the video, because fire symbolizes purification. It symbolizes overcoming. It symbolizes moving forward. And I think it's pretty important when you have a song talking about, healing from a trauma, and then you have fire that symbolizes purification and moving on. I think it's pretty important. So I really, really liked that video.
And now you also have some guests on this album, so tell us a little bit about them, why you chose them, and what songs they appear on.
Sure. We have legendary João Gordo from Ratos de Porão, which is one of my favorite bands ever. They are, for those who don't know, they are crossover legends here from Brazil. They've toured the U.S. a couple of times, I guess, in the past. And they're awesome. You should go and check them out. There's 2 albums I would recommend. Anarchophobia and Brazil. These albums are amazing. If you love crossover, you're going to love that. And he's a friend of he's not only an idol, but he's a friend of us. He loves the band. And I think, I was at their concert, and then we were like before the show backstage, and he was talking about us and everything, and he was like, yeah, I heard you're writing a new album, right? I was like, yeah, we're nearly done. He was like, you know what? I really want to write lyrics and put some vocals in one of your songs. Would that be okay? I was like, what the fuck? Of course, that would be. I almost cried, of course, because I'm a crybaby. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. And he did some. Everyone is concerned, like, oh, do you have any songs in the album that talks about sexism and everything? People are always trying to relate us to this subject. And yes, there is. And it was him who wrote that. The only song that talks about sexism comes from him, because he said he was just tired of seeing like nasty comments on our stuff and our posts and videos, like some guys like, oh my God, oh, you're so hot, this kind of thing. And he gets so pissed off. And then he was like, I'm going to write about that. And then he wrote about that, and he was like, yeah, but I'll only do it if it's in Portuguese. And it was like, definitely, we always have a song in Portuguese in our albums. So he was like, perfect. And then it was amazing when we actually got to record it, like record the song and everything. Mm-hmm. I felt really fulfilled. Again, I almost cried. And but it was really, really nice, because he's a good friend. He's one of the people I like the most, and he's an idol. You know, like I would never imagine he would be joining our record, and it came from him. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really cool. And as for the other 2 guys, we have, as you may have noticed already, we have a bonus track on this new album called Selfish Battle, and it's a heavy metal song. Always with our bonus tracks, we like to do something different. On the last one, there was Wayfarer, where I sing with my clean vocals and everything, and I still feel very shy about it. Whenever someone plays Wayfarer near me, I feel like I want to die. I just want to run away and never come back. I feel so shy, because I'm used to singing like that only in the shower. But on this time, we were like, okay, they need a bonus track. I mean, the label, let's do something different again. And then me and Prika, we also like heavy metal. And then we were like, let's do a heavy metal song. Oh, and I remember like once I was like just messing around, and I was singing like We Don't Need Another Hero from Tina Turner with very graspy vocals, like, we don't need another hero. And then she was like, oh my God, this is amazing. That's what we're gonna put on the heavy metal track. I was like, okay, let's try and do it. And then me and her wrote like heavy metal riffs, and then I wrote those very metal vocal lines, very power metal, like Manowar kind of thing. And then we thought like, okay, let's make this track even more special. Then we thought of having some friends on it, and we thought of the Brazilian drummer Rodrigo Oliveira, because he's from legendary Brazilian band Corsos, which is a thrash metal band, but he also plays in a heavy metal band called Armored Dawn. So we were like, maybe he will get the vibe of the song, right? Because he plays in a thrash metal band, we're a thrash metal band, but we're making a heavy metal song, and he plays in a heavy metal band. So we thought it would be just perfect to have him, and he was so glad when we called him, and he did it perfectly. I don't think we could have done any better with the drums. It was really, really nice. He was very creative. He really understood what the song was asking. And then we had Michael Gilbert from Flotsam and Jetsam. Oh my God, we love him and all the guys from Flotsam. We toured with them before, like on our first tour with Destruction. and we really liked them. They really liked us. And then also Flotsam is a thrash metal band, but you can see lots of heavy metal elements on their songs, you know. So we thought like maybe he will also understand the vibe of the song, and then he did perfectly. He played the first solo you hear on Selfish Battle, it's his. And it's amazing. It's so amazing. I love the like when I started recording, I was like, man, I don't know if I like the vocals, I don't know. But then like after I heard everything together, I just love the song. It's really a cliche heavy metal song, and I'm so glad we got the chance to work with those guys that we love simply.
And now this time also you went with producer Martin Furia. So tell us a little bit about why you went with him, Fernanda.
First of all, because we love him. I love Martin. He's Argentinian, but he lives in Belgium, and we got to meet him, and we got to know his work, the way he works. During some tours in Europe, he was the sound guy. He is the sound guy for This Direction. So we were in a tour on tour with them twice. So he worked for us too on this tour. And on these tours, and then he worked with us on a summer tour we did by ourselves, like headlining, and then he was working with us, and we just love the way he does it. He's really good at it. He really understands about it, and also he has what I think it's the most valuable when you are in studio. He's really patient. He's really open. He's really easygoing. He's relaxed, because like I hate working in stressful environments. So whenever like there's some stress, I feel like I hate it. It kills me. So when we thought of him, I was like amazing, because he's really, really nice. He's really patient. And for you to have an idea, there was a day that I got stressed for some reason, like not stressed, but I was feeling a little bit down for some reason. And then he gave me a time off, like a day off on the next day. He was like, go home, just relax, and then light up some incenses and candles, because I know you like that, and listen to some Beyonce, because I know you like that, and then just I'm going to work on some other things, and then you come when you're feeling well. You know, this kind of thing that, like, we were under pressure because we didn't have a lot of time, but he was so patient and nice. Like, on the part of the studio that I was singing, he printed some papers with like he printed some pictures of Beyonce and Amy Winehouse and people like that, like my biggest influences, and just take them around, and I was so happy. I mean, he's a really nice guy, and also he really had in mind exactly what we had in mind, which was like we want to. Like, everyone who watched this live knows, like, the energy live. It's like we like to go on stage and give 100%, so you can feel that on our music live. It's pretty energetic. So we wanted to bring all this energy to the album, like this live energy to the album. And he worked with us live. So he knew exactly how to bring that. That's why the album sounds rawer, more organic, but still very professional, because he did exactly what he does when we work live, but in the studio. And he's awesome. I love you, Martin. So
how much time do you have off before hitting the road again, Fernanda?
Yeah, it's gonna be like June. It's June. And then in July, we're gonna go to Europe again, and we're gonna stay there during July and August. We are doing this summer tour to start promoting the album. Then when we're back, we have some surprises we'll announce them. We're going to play with a very nice band here in Brazil. And then we're going to focus more here on South and Latin America, and on promoting the album here. And then on the beginning of the next year, we'll definitely try and go to the States, and then Europe again, and then this never-ending cycle of promoting the album on the road.
And now, Fernanda, what's the best websites for people to go to keep up with the band and where you're playing and everything that's going on with you guys?
Well, I think, our Facebook and Instagram are pretty much updated all the time. We post different things sometimes on Facebook, on Instagram, so stay tuned on both. If you want to see silly stuff going on in the world, definitely go to Instagram. And on our website, you can also find all kinds of other things, like all links for our videos and everything. Our tour dates are always going to be around there too. And if you want to listen to everything, we have Spotify. We have a couple of playlists there also. So yeah, whatever social medias, we're going to be there. There's no way you can't hear about what we're up to.
So there you guys have it. Nervosa has a new album out June 1st off Napalm Records called Downfall of Mankind. And Fernanda, thank you as always for coming on the show to tell us about the new album and have fun out there on tour. And we hope to catch you next year here in the USA sometime.
Yeah, we will soon. We're working really hard for that, and I can't wait to hug you. I love Jet, guys. I really do. I'm so romantic on this interview, right? Love everyone. I said I love like 3 million people on the interview. Well, that's me. I can't help it. But yeah, thank you once more to allow me with this beautiful opportunity of talking about our album and say the silly stuff, my usual silly stuff. Thank you so much. It means a lot. And thanks for everyone who's listening. We're nothing without you guys, really.